Welcome, curious minds, to another exciting deep dive. Today, we're not just looking at a handful of new gadgets, we're exploring a fascinating tension in sports technology.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
Well, it's this relentless drive for ultimate precision, but bumping up against the desire for accessibility and, well, affordability.
Ah, right. Seeing how far the tech can go versus who can actually use it.
Exactly. We'll see how companies are pushing the boundaries of what our bodies can tell us and whether that cutting edge tech will land in your hands easily.
That's right. Our mission today is all about extracting the most important nuggets of knowledge from the week's most interesting sports tech stories, helping you stay well-informed without getting, bogged down by all the noise.
And for this deep dive, we're drawing heavily from top industry sources. We've got detailed insights from the 5K runner, who, if you don't know, is a triathlete, runner, gym goer with a really keen eye for what's new and noteworthy in sports tech.
Yeah, great source. So we're going to cover each of their highlighted stories in detail, really dig into what's truly new and what we can actually learn from these developments.
Okay, so get ready. We'll be exploring quite a diverse range of innovations.
Definitely. We're looking at everything from a surprisingly strong Whoop alternative to cutting-edge continuous blood pressure monitoring, some intelligent swim goggles.
And even some fresh leaks from a major player in cycling tech and smartwatches.
Yep, lots to cover.
Okay, let's unpack this. We're starting with a device that's stirring up a lot of buzz, the Amazfit Helio Strap. It's often positioned as like a subscription-free alternative to Whoop.
Right, we're kind of calling the Helio strap a Whoop tickler
A Whoop tickler. Okay, I like that. Why?
because it's directly targeting Whoop's market share. It's aggressively priced, $99, $69,
Yeah.
and crucially, no ongoing subscription.
That's the big hook, isn't it? No subscription.
Totally. It's definitely designed to annoy Whoop, offering this compelling subscription-free alternative that might tempt new users purely out of curiosity. But it still needs a fair bit of polish to really compete head-to-head.
That's a bold move, though. So let's dive into the scientific reviews. We've got insights from the Quantified Scientist and Fitgear Hunter, and they highlight its surprising heart rate accuracy.
Yeah, they do.
So what did the Quantified Scientist find?
They tested on the wrist and the bicep, right?
Yeah.
During different exercises.
Yeah, and the findings are quite impressive, especially for bicep wear. So for indoor cycling, the wrist sensor performed really well, showed a 0.99 correlation, which is, excellent.
That's already top tier.
It is, but on the bicep, it hit an almost unheard of 1.00 correlation.
Whoa, personal.
Almost perfect. What that means for you is if your heart rate changes by a single beat per minute, the device is almost instantly and perfectly reflecting that change. It's like having a lab-grade ECG strapped to your arm.
That's genuinely groundbreaking for a consumer device at this price. It really is.
Yeah.
And that accuracy likely comes from the bicep being a less bony surface, better signal. Then, running outside, the bicep achieved another perfect 1.00 correlation.
Seriously?
Yep, making it the best performer the Quantified Scientist had ever tested for running, comparable even to the Apple Watch and Huawei.
That is genuinely surprising. I mean, we've kind of been conditioned to think wrist-based is the standard, even with its known limitations. Does this suggest maybe a shift in how future wearables might be designed? Or is the bicep just a niche solution for peak accuracy?
That's a good question. It definitely highlights the potential for bicep-worn devices to fill a crucial gap for accuracy, especially in high-motion activities where wrist sensors can struggle.
Right, like outdoor cycling or weightlifting.
Exactly. For those, there was a clear advantage for bicep wear, significantly better accuracy. The Helio strap on the bicep actually rivals Apple Watch performance in outdoor cycling, and it's among the top performers for weightlifting. Though Apple Watch still holds a slight edge there.
Okay, and Fitgear Hunter saw similar things.
Yeah, Fitgear Hunter corroborates this. Describe the bicep performance as a mirror image of greatness for cardio and fantastic for lifting and CrossFit. They even noted it caught a palpitation spike over 200 BPM.
Wow, over 200 BPM with an optical sensor. That's genuinely incredible. It almost sounds too good to be true for something at this price point.
It is remarkable, yeah.
So if accuracy during workouts is your main goal, especially on the bicep, this sounds like a truly strong contender. But I have to wonder, is wearing a strap on your bicep something most everyday users would actually commit to, especially if they're also wearing a watch?
That's a fair point. It certainly won't be for everyone. And, you hit on another critical point. sleep tracking.
Right, because heart rate during activity is one thing, but recovery often comes down to good sleep data. How does it do there?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, the Heliostrap's performance here is less impressive.
Hmm.
It's not quite there yet. Pretty similar to other Amazfit devices, actually.
Oh, okay, so struggles where?
It particularly struggles with REM sleep. Showed only about 36% agreement with reference devices.
Ouch. Why is that, do you think?
Well, the core reason here is usually the software algorithms. Amazfit likely hasn't invested as much in refining those sleep algorithms as a company like Whoop has.
Gotcha. And the overall app experience. Does it live up to that promise of being a Whoop alternative?
Well, the app clearly attempts to mimic Whoop's layout and features. It includes concepts like health span and biological age.
Which are kind of indicators of your physiological age versus your actual age.
Exactly, how your markers compare. But it's just not as polished. There are some definite beta issues.
Like what?
Like inaccurate heart rate zone configuration. It defaults to that simple 220 minus age formula for max heart rate.
Oh, that old chestnut. Yeah, that's often way off for individuals.
Totally. And it's a big problem because those zones are used to calculate things like strain, how hard you worked, and biocharge, how recovered you are. If the input data, your zones are off.
Then the key metrics become unreliable.
Exactly. It could tell you you're recovered when you're actually exhausted. Or the other way around. Plus, the daily insights can be a bit sticky, like they don't always update properly when you scroll back through days.
Okay, so in summary, who is the Heliostrap really for, given these trade-offs?
I'd say the Heliostrap is best suited for people purely focused on accurate heart rate tracking during exercise, especially if an official bicep band becomes available, because that accuracy is its strong suit. And, of course, for those looking to save money in the long run, since there's no subscription.
Right. Contrasting with Whoop, which is still maybe better for the whole package, health tracking, sleep stages, aging insights, that more refined app.
Precisely. And it's important to remember neither of these straps is a substitute for a watch with built-in GPS if you don't want to carry your phone during workouts.
Good point. Okay, so it's clear, detailed body data is transforming how we train on land. But what about the quiet, often overlooked metrics? Let's pivot now to something truly groundbreaking, I think, in the medical device side of wearables. The Hilo Band, formerly known as Actia.
Yeah, this is a big one. Its significance really can't be overstated. This is the first cuffless and FDA-approved continuous blood pressure monitor. It's set to hit the U.S. market in 2026.
Cuffless and FDA approved, that's huge.
It is. This technology could genuinely transform hypertension management. It gets around the limitations of traditional cuff-based monitoring, especially for understanding those critical fluctuations during sleep and just throughout the day. For patients and doctors, this is a massive step forward.
How exactly does it work, though? Continuous monitoring without a cuff still sounds a bit like magic.
Yeah, it's certainly innovative. It's basically a lightweight, waterproof wristband that uses something called photoplethysmography, PPG.
Okay, break that down.
Think of it like this. It shines a tiny light into your skin. As your heart beats, blood flows, and recedes, right? That changes how much light gets absorbed or reflected back.
Okay.
By precisely measuring these tiny light changes, the band can detect your pulse, and then, using some pretty sophisticated algorithms, it estimates your blood pressure continuously, all without needing a cumbersome cuff.
Wow. And it takes readings constantly.
It takes up to 50 average readings daily, even during sleep, without disturbing you.
Yeah.
And the accuracy, it's been proven in diverse clinical settings. We're talking mean differences of less than 0.5 millimeter each year for both systolic and diastolic readings in month-long trials.
That's incredibly precise, less than 0.5 millimeter of mercury difference.
Yeah, it's really good.
So what does this all mean for our listener? Why should they care about this beyond just, cool tech? What's the real impact?
Well, the impact is significant. First, it enables early detection of blood pressure changes. This empowers you to make timely lifestyle adjustments or seek medical advice much sooner than you would with just sporadic measurements.
Right, catching trends before they become big problems.
Exactly. And its ease of use should greatly boost adherence to monitoring. Let's be honest, people often forget or just dislike the hassle of a traditional cuff.
Guilty as charged.
Right. So this overcomes that barrier. Plus, the detailed, continuous data it provides empowers clinicians for truly personalized care. Instead of just a few readings, they get a full 24/7 picture of your blood pressure trends.
That makes sense. How does it compare to something like WhoopMG's blood pressure estimation?
Good question. Whoop MG offers trend estimation, which is useful. But the halo band provides more frequent and critically more precise intra-daily monitoring. It's aiming for medical-grade accuracy.
This sounds like it could reshape a huge part of health monitoring. What are the market implications? Are we going to see this kind of tech integrated everywhere soon?
That's definitely the hope and the expectation. The major wearable companies, Samsung, Apple, Huawei, Garmin, they're all keenly aware of this technology.
So they might license it or develop their own.
Exactly. The expectation is they'll either license this Helo solution or integrate similar, validated cuffless blood pressure monitoring into their own devices. We've already seen user comments expressing a strong desire for this kind of thing in their existing Garmin watches, for example.
Yeah, I can see the appeal.
It's a clear sign that consumer wearables are moving closer and closer to offering medical-grade functionality.
Okay, moving from land to water. The quest for real-time insights for swimmers has, well, traditionally been a challenge. And that's where the new Form Smart Swim 2 Pro goggles really make a splash, pun intended.
Hey, nice one.
And for this, a big shout out to DC Rainmaker and his incredibly in-depth review. For anyone who might not know, DC Rainmaker is one of the most respected independent reviewers in sports tech, known for his meticulous real-world testing that often goes way beyond what manufacturers provide.
Yeah, his reviews are legendary, so when he praises something, it definitely carries weight.
Totally. So what did his review highlight about these new goggles? Any big hardware changes?
Yes. The DC Rainmaker review pointed out one notable hardware change, the switch to Corning Gorilla Glass 3 for the lens.
Like on smartphones. So tougher.
Exactly. Significantly improves scratch and crack resistance. Now, the trade-off is that it loses the original anti-fog coating, but Form provides a practical solution right in the box.
Oh, what's art?
It's just a simple mixture, like 4 parts water to 1 part baby shampoo that you can spray on. Seems low-tech, but apparently effective.
Huh, okay. And DC Rainmaker really put that durability to the test, right? I heard he was dragging it on pool decks and stuff.
He did, dragging it on abrasive pool surfaces, even dropping it, and the glass reportedly remained perfectly clear.
Honestly, my first thought seeing that would be, there goes another pair. As someone who's definitely scratched goggle lenses way too easily, that kind of durability is a potential game changer.
Absolutely. Then on the software side, the new features are primarily for subscribers.
The subscription model again. What do subscribers get?
There's Smart Set for automatic interval counting during free swims, which is a huge convenience if you're not strictly following a preset workout. And then there's Head Coach Plans and Head Coach Insights, which are actually coming in September.
What do those do?
They offer continuously adapting personalized swim plans and provide technique feedback directly in your heads-up display while you swim.
Okay, now subscription fatigue is a real thing for a lot of consumers. How does Form address that, especially when the goggles themselves aren't cheap to begin with?
Yeah, it's true. Many people dislike subscriptions, and Form acknowledges this. But apparently they've genuinely tried every possible business model over their history, non-subscription, blended models, and they found that this current subscription model is what works best for them as a sustainable business.
So it's a business necessity for them.
It seems so. And they also note that their data shows the training plans are making their core audience faster compared to free swim users. So they're arguing there's a clear value proposition there for this subscription beyond just unlocking basic features. It's about delivering a more effective training experience.
Okay, that makes sense from their perspective. So how do they actually perform in daily usage? That heads-up display, is it easy to see? What about limitations?
The heads-up display is remarkably clear and bright. Apparently, it's easily visible even in bright sunlight, which is crucial. Where Form truly excels, and has always been a leader, is its incredibly reliable length counting accuracy. It's virtually flawless.
That's their main jam, right?
Absolutely. The optical HR sensor, however, it tends to be a bit all or nothing. Meaning either it gets a perfect signal lock and is pretty accurate, or just loses the signal entirely. There's very little in between. It's basically saying, I'm either perfectly happy reading your heart rate, or I'm completely ignoring you.
Huh. Sounds like some people I know. What about open water swimming? That's a whole different beast.
Yeah, for open water, you can pair them with a Garmin or Apple Watch to pull in GPS data. And they have this feature called Swim Straight, which is basically a compass to help with sighting a nice touch if you tend to swim off course.
Okay, that's useful.
However, a persistent complaint remains, and is kind of a big one for triathletes or open water enthusiasts specifically.
Let me guess. Peripheral vision.
You got it. There's limited side visibility compared to traditional, simpler goggles. This makes them less ideal for open water swimmers who really rely on that peripheral vision for safety, spotting other swimmers, buoys.
Right. So it's a trade-off you make for having that integrated display right in front of you.
Exactly. Despite all the other advanced features, that limited side view is still a factor for that specific group.
Okay, shifting gears again, let's talk Garmin. A titan in sports tech, we've got some exciting leaks, starting with new power pedals. Power meters are pretty crucial data for serious cyclists.
Yeah, absolutely. And the existing Garmin Rally RS200 pedals are, well, they're over 4 years old now, so a refresh is definitely needed. Plus, competitors like Favaro Asioma PRO RS2 are offering really strong competition at lower price points.
So Garmin needs to step up their game.
Pretty much. They need to innovate not just on features, but maybe also on value.
So what are the key leaked features for these new Rally X10 pedals, and what do they actually mean for a cyclist using them?
Okay, there are two sort of leaked features floating around. One is secure sensor connection, which is just an expected trend, more reliable Bluetooth NT plus connections in sports electronics. Pretty standard improvement.
Okay, what's the other one?
The second and potentially more interesting one is direct force measurement.
Direct force measurement.
Yeah.
What's the significance of that?
So this could be a game changer for very specific types of training. If you're a cyclist working on pure strength, doing drills where you push really big gears at very low RPMs, like strength intervals, this pedal can now apparently tell you exactly how much force you're putting down, independent of your cadence.
Ah, so it separates force from speed.
Exactly. It isolates the force component. For elite athletes and coaches doing highly targeted training, it provides a much cleaner data set. And for reviewers like us, it offers a better way to compare accuracy by isolating force errors from potential cadence errors. Makes it easier to pinpoint where any discrepancies might be coming from.
Gotcha. So those are the sort of leaked features. What about speculated ones, things we might see?
Right. Speculation includes possibly increased data rate capture. That would mean a more accurate power curve in that really short 1 to 3 second range. Super crucial for sprinters or anyone doing short, punchy efforts.
It's like attacking on a climb.
Precisely. We could also see increased accuracy overall, maybe aiming for below that 1% error margin, which is kind of the gold standard.
Yeah.
And there's a very likely shift to rechargeable batteries.
Finally. Like the Favaro pedals.
Yeah, probably similar to Favaro. This might mean a slightly reduced battery life compared to the current replaceable battery models.
Yeah.
Be dropping from 100, 120 hours down to something like 50, 60 hours per charge.
That's still pretty decent, though. What about the common problems people have had with the current Rally pedals? Any indication those will be addressed? Because that's often where the rubber meets the road for everyday users.
Absolutely. Garmin will almost certainly be working hard to address the known issues. Things like premature bearing wear, some users reporting left-right power imbalance errors, occasional calibration failures, signal dropouts, the usual suspects that have popped up in forums and reviews. Addressing those reliability concerns will be key.
And the big question, price.
Yeah, that's $1 million or maybe $1,200 question. Will Garmin maintain its premium price point? Speculation puts it around $1,200. Or will they try to be more competitive against the sub-$800 Asioma pedals, maybe landing closer to $950?
That price point will definitely influence how much market share they can grab back.
For sure. It's a big strategic decision for them.
Okay, and staying with Garmin, what can you tell us about the Venue 4 smartwatch? Any leaks there?
Yep. The first leak confirms the Venue 4 is coming very soon. Expected price point is around $400.
Okay, so positioned similarly to the Venue 3, what upgrades can we expect?
Mostly smart feature upgrades, it seems. Things like an improved AMOLED screen, maybe brighter, higher resolution, definitely a speaker and microphone for calls and voice assistant stuff, a focus mode to help minimize distractions, which we've seen on other new Garmins, and likely a refreshed user interface, bringing it in line with their latest software design.
Sounds like solid, iterative improvements. But has Garmin finally caught up with LTE connectivity? That's becoming increasingly standard on smartwatches from Apple, Samsung.
Unfortunately, it looks like Garmin is still lagging behind the curve on LTE. The Venue 4 itself is most likely not getting LTE functionality initially.
Really? Still no LTE option on their mainstream lifestyle watch.
It seems not for this base model. The current roadmap suggests LTE is slated for the high-end Fenix 8 Pro first, probably in early 2026. And then maybe we'll see a Venue 4 Pro variant with LTE, also sometime in 2026.
Huh. Okay, so if untethered connectivity is a must-have for you, this Venue 4 probably won't be it just yet. You'd have to wait.
Yeah, looks that way. Still reliant on your phone for that full connectivity.
All right, finally, let's roll into the virtual world. Zwift. The latest game update, version 1.93, brings some interesting new metrics to the heads-up display, the HUD.
That's right. This update brings several new HUD metrics. Some require external sensors like core temperature and heat strain index. You'd need specific sensors for those. But also added are weighted power, average speed, and importantly, left-right power balance, shown as a percentage right on screen.
More immediate feedback during your ride. Nice.
Exactly. Provides more data at a glance.
And there's a new ride stats panel, too. What does that offer for performance tracking?
Yeah, there's a new critical power panel. It tracks your rolling maximum average power for specific durations. 5 seconds, 1 minute, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, and 60 minutes.
Ah, so you can see your best efforts for those key intervals in real time.
Precisely. And if you're currently hitting a new maximum for one of those durations during your ride, the numbers actually show up highlighted in orange on the screen. So it gives you a nice visual cue that you're putting down a peak effort.
Cool. Okay, let's do a quick deep dive into that left-right power balance metric on the HUD. Why is this important? And maybe more critically, how do you get accurate readings for it in Zwift? Because I know that can be a point of confusion.
Yeah, it's often debated how useful LR balance is, but it does matter for some riders, particularly if you're trying to identify significant imbalances that could lead to injury or inefficiency down the road. Or maybe if you're recovering from a one-sided injury and trying to track progress.
Okay, so potential uses there, but accuracy.
Right, this is crucial. True and accurate pedal balance requires a true dual-sided power meter, one that measures the power from each leg independently.
So that rules out single-sided power meters, obviously. What about smart trainers?
It rules out most smart trainers too, yeah. They typically only estimate LR balance based on pedal stroke dynamics, or some just double the power from one point in the crank rotation. It's not a direct measurement from each leg.
Gotcha. So for accurate LR data in Zwift, you need something like those Asioma Pro RS2 pedals we mentioned, or similar dual-sided pedal or crank systems.
Exactly. You need hardware that measures both sides properly. And the good news is, Zwift will also record this LR balance data to your ride's FIT file, so you can upload it and analyze it later on platforms like Garmin Connect, Training Peaks, etc., to track trends over time.
Okay, that's helpful context. And any quick quality of life updates in 1.93 worth mentioning? Things that just make the Zwift experience a bit smoother.
Yeah, a couple of small but useful things. There's now a route badge completion indicator when you're selecting a route. It just shows you if you've already earned the achievement badge for completing that route.
Oh, nice. No more guessing if you've already done enough laps on Watopia Hilly route.
Huh, exactly. Saves you checking your profile. Plus, they apparently fixed an issue where outdoor rides weren't linking correctly to Zwift for those XP bonuses you can sometimes get.
Ah, connecting the real world and virtual world better.
Yep. Just making that ecosystem work a bit more seamlessly.
Okay, wow. We've really uncovered an incredible breadth of innovation in this deep dive, from, new ways to track our bodies with much greater precision, to smarter training tools, both physical and virtual, and these evolving digital platforms.
Definitely.
What really stands out to me across all these innovations, thinking about the Helio strap's bicep accuracy, the Helo band's medical grade precision, even the detailed metrics in form and Zwift, is this clear shift.
Yeah, what is it for you?
It feels like it's no longer just about collecting data anymore, but really refining it, getting super specific and super accurate.
Absolutely. I think we're moving towards a future where these hyper-accurate, often quite specialized sensors give us insights that were really only available in a lab setting until very recently. It's kind of democratizing high-level physiological understanding.
Right. So it's not just about training harder. It's about training smarter, using data that was previously out of reach for most people, helping you truly understand your body's unique capabilities and needs in much finer detail.
Exactly. More personalized, more precise.
And, this raises a really interesting question, I think. As these gadgets become increasingly specialized, with one excelling at heart rate, another maybe best in class for sleep, yet others focusing on very specific sports metrics like swimming or cycling power. What does this mean for you, the listener, the learner, the athlete?
Where does it lead?
Yeah. Will we see a future where we end up wearing, multiple devices, picking the best-in-class tool for each specific job, one for workouts, one for sleep, maybe something else for general health? Or is the ultimate goal still that single perfect, holy grail device that somehow seamlessly does everything exceptionally well?
It's a great question. The integrated dream versus the specialized reality.
What stands out to you as you navigate all this tech? We'd love to know.